So, what happens when a financial giant basically decides to tear up its own blueprint and bet everything on the future of how we all shop? Well, today we're going to unpack a massive shakeup in the world of digital payments. This is a huge story about a strategic transformation that, believe me, affects millions of businesses all over the globe.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Global payments, a name you've probably interacted with 1,000 times without even knowing it, just radically reshaped its entire business. And we're not talking about a minor tweak here. This was a complete, top-to-bottom reinvention of who they are and what they do. So here's what they did. They made a massive strategic trade. They sold off the traditional banking tech division, the part that provides services to the banks that actually issue our credit cards, and they went all in on buying the e-commerce titan, WorldPay. It's a huge pivot, moving away from that old-school banking tech and straight into the super dynamic world of merchant commerce. And this move, it creates an absolute powerhouse. Just to put this number into perspective, the new combined company will now handle a staggering $4 trillion in payments every single year. A scale like that gives them this incredible bird's-eye view over the entire global flow of commerce.
Okay, so what does this new version of global payments actually look like? This is where their new identity comes into play, and honestly, it's all about getting laser-focused. They're now calling themselves a pure-play commerce provider. Now, in simple terms, that just means they've stripped away everything else to focus on one single goal, to be the #1 partner for any business that wants to sell anything, anywhere. That's it. No more divided attention.
And their whole strategy is built on these 4 pillars. See, by having that pure play focus, they believe they can be way more agile and responsive than their competitors who are kind of spread thin. Being client-centric means they're building solutions for businesses, not just pushing products. Innovation, well, that's their big bet on tech. And global reach means they can serve a huge multinational brand in your local coffee shop with the exact same level of expertise. And this isn't just some mission statement on a wall. They have the global muscle to actually back it up. I mean, just look at these numbers. We're talking about a presence in over 175 countries with a direct sales force of 5,500 people on the ground ready to go. That is a footprint very, very few can match.
All right, a clear strategy is a fantastic start, but where is the growth actually going to come from? This is where it gets really interesting. The company is placing 2 huge bets on technology that are already paying off big time.
So first up is their Genius platform. Think of it as an all-in-one toolkit for small and medium-sized businesses to manage pretty much everything, from taking payments to tracking inventory. And wow, is it catching on like wildfire?
Just take a look at their work with 7Brew, one of the fastest-growing coffee chains in the U.S. They needed a payment system that was as fast as their drive-through service, so they rolled out the Genius platform to 500 of their locations.
In just 65 days. I mean, that is a massive deployment at an incredible speed. And they're not even slowing down. 7Brew is still adding about 10 new stores every single week using this exact same platform.
Now, the second growth engine is where things get really futuristic. We're talking about artificial intelligence. And the CEO here, he's not just talking the talk. He's making it crystal clear that AI is now at the absolute core of their entire operation. And they're already putting AI to work in some seriously powerful ways. Let's just break this down. First, you've got Disputes Defender. It uses AI to automatically handle chargebacks. When a customer disputes a charge, which is a huge headache for businesses, and it's winning 15% more of those cases. Then there's Revenue Boost, which used AI to help their clients make an extra $2 billion last year, just by getting more legit transactions approved.
So the key takeaway here is that they are embedding themselves right in the middle of the future of AI-driven commerce. They're working with giants like Google and OpenAI, they're letting merchants accept payments directly from ChatGPT, and they're even using AI to make their own developers 20% more efficient. They are all in.
All right, so the strategy sounds great, the tech is impressive, but does the math actually add up? Let's take a look at the financials that are holding this whole transformation together.
So they kicked off 2026 with a really strong financial tailwind. Their fourth quarter results for 2025 were solid across the board. Healthy growth, strong cash flow. This is what gave them the confidence and, frankly, the capital to make these huge moves. And their outlook for the new combined company? It's pretty bullish. They're projecting steady revenue growth, a big jump in their profit margins, and really powerful double-digit growth in earnings per share. These are exactly the kind of strong signals investors want to see. Now, a huge piece of their financial puzzle is something called synergies, which is really just a fancy word for the cost savings and new revenue they expect from merging with WorldPay.
They're aiming for $600 million in savings and another $200 million in new revenue over the next 3 years.
On top of all that, they're also doubling down on shareholder value. They plan to return a massive $7.5 billion to investors through dividends and stock buybacks. This is a huge vote of confidence in their ability to generate cash with this new business model.
So, when you put it all together, the strategy, the tech, the financials, what's the big picture here? What does this all really add up to?
The story is actually simple and incredibly powerful. Global Payments is making a massive, focused bet. They've shed their other businesses to go all in on the future of commerce because they believe that being the best at one thing beats being okay at many things every time.
And that, of course, brings us to the billion-dollar question. The potential here is huge, but so are the risks. I mean, integrating a company the size of WorldPay is a monumental task, and they're doing it while carrying a hefty $22.3 billion in debt. They've absolutely placed their bet, but the real question is, will it pay off?